Hi all, today we are going to discuss the number and size of the generating units. So we know that the generators are designed to give maximum efficiency near about 75% to 100% of the full load. But we have seen from the load curve and the load duration curve in the previous class, the load curve, the load is continuously changing on the station. So let us take for example, I take a single generator only, and that generator is having a capacity of, let us assume, because 30 megawatt, because here the maximum load is equal to 30 megawatt. So generator capacity should be either 30 megawatt or little more than this one, depending on what is the percentage of the load at which the maximum efficiency happens. But now you can see, as continuously the load is fluctuating, that means it is not operating at the condition of maximum efficiency. So automatically it is operating at a lesser efficiency than what it is maximum efficiency that it can give. So automatically what happened, the cost of unit increases because of this one. So I am summarizing once again. So we know that the load curve is continuously fluctuating, or the load is continuously fluctuating on the load. If you take a single unit or a single generator having the maximum demand capacity, so in that case only for some time it is operating at the maximum efficiency, for the remaining times it is operating at a less load, so efficiency falls down drastically. So that means automatically the cost of the unit generator will increase drastically. So what is the solution for this one? The solution for this one is increase, instead of going for one generator we can go for multiple generators. So before proceeding further, let us see the advantages and disadvantages of going for single generator. So if you go for the single generator, advantages, only one generator will be there. So in order to operate only one generator in your power station, only one person is sufficient. That means only one person, one operator is sufficient to maintain it. That is the advantage. And second one, as a single generator is there, so the associated equipment, that auxiliary equipment, all will be having single unit only. So it will be simple and it will be very easy to manage. But there is a disadvantage of going for single unit. The disadvantage of going for the single unit is, if the generator fails under the fault conditions or due to the maintenance, because every year we will shut down our plant for some time for doing the maintenance part, because we know that any rotating device need the maintenance, frequent maintenance, otherwise it will spoil. So that's why whether due to the fault it fails or due to the maintenance purpose it is shut down, then continuity of the supply is hampered. So in order to maintain the supply, what we have to do? We have to maintain one extra spare unit capacity to supply the load. So what should be the rating of the spare unit capacity? Obviously the spare unit capacity also will be equal to the rating of the generator, that is nothing but equal to the rating of your power plant. That means the huge size generator is required, so automatically the cost of the spare unit increases drastically. So automatically huge initial investment is there. So instead of saving, you are wasting here in the form of the extra spare unit. If the spare unit is not maintained, automatically the continuity of supply maintenance is very difficult task. So that's why we can, based on these two conclusions, we can tell that it is better solution is to go for the smaller units in such a way that they fit the load curve properly, and hence they can operate corresponding to maximum efficiency. So now as the number of generators are increased, because more generators are needed, so more generator means because between the generator we need some clearance for the safety concern, and proper clearance required, and proper space is also required. So automatically the floor area required increases. When the floor area required increases, that means it need more land to install the same capacity. So automatically initial cost increases. And the second one, the more generators means more initial cost per kilowatt. Let us take for example, if I am taking a small motor which is having 1 HP motor. Let us assume that 1 HP motor is 2000 rupees. If you are purchasing 2 HP motors, it will not be equal to double the price. It will be only, it will come for nearly 1.5 or 1.6 times the cost only. So double the size is not there. That means instead of going for 2 HP motor, if you are using two single 1 HP motors, so the cost increases. So same thing is applicable for generator. So because of this, initial cost per kilowatt of rating increases drastically. And the next disadvantage is, as the more units are there, so every unit need the maintenance, so that's why the maintenance cost also increases. And second one, as the number of units are increased, so more people are required to take care there, more personnel are required to operate those generators. So automatically the salaries of those persons also increases. So we can tell that if the number of generators are increased, the advantage is they fit the load curve perfectly, so they operate at maximum efficiency, but initial investment and maintenance are increasing drastically. But there is an advantage going for the extra unit. So let us take for example, I am taking the units having a rating of 1000 kilowatt, 600 kilowatt and 400 kilowatt to supply some 2000 kilowatt rating. That means my power plant rating or maximum demand is 2000 kilowatt. I am taking the rating of the generators as 1000 kilowatt, 600 kilowatt and 400. So total will be equal to 2000. So now we have to maintain one spare unit. What will be the spare unit capacity? Spare unit capacity will be equal to the rating of largest rating of the generators out of these, which is having the largest rating, that is equal to 1000 watts. That means the spare unit that is required will be only equal to 1000 watts when compared to, if you are taking single unit, you know 2000 watts spare unit. So because of this, what happens? The cost of the spare unit decreases drastically because the rating of the spare unit required is decreased. So that is the advantage. That means here the cost is decreased and this cost is increased. So you have to maintain the balance between these two. So there will be a threshold above which instead of decreasing the cost may increase. So going for the lower units, we are also going to prove by solving a numerical that the plant capacity factor and the plant use factor will increase, because we know the plant capacity factor is average demand divided by rated capacity of the plant. What is the rated capacity of the plant? Here it will be 1000 plus 600 plus 400 plus 1000 extra spare unit. This is the total one. That means equal to 2000 plus 1000, only 3000 kilowatt rating only required. So let us assume if you are going for a single unit, so single unit case how much will be required? Single unit case 2000 watt is the main unit and spare unit is 2000 watts, so 2000 kilowatts, so total 4000 kilowatt is required, but here only 3000. So automatically the rated capacity of the plant is decreased, so automatically plant capacity factor increases. Now coming to the plant use factor will be station output in kilowatt hour divided by the rating of each unit multiplied by the time for which that unit is running. So if you are taking single unit, that means 2000 kilowatt is running for 24 hours. So, but in this case, each unit is running for different time in order to fit the load curve. That means each unit is not running for the entire duration. So automatically the denominator value will be less. So plant use factor will improve. So a compromise is generally made between these two approaches, that is going for a single unit or going for multiple small unit. So in practice, we have to select the units in such a way, small number of units should be selected such that they fit in the load curve as closely as possible. So let us take one small example to understand this. I am taking a load curve. This is my load curve. You can see here load. Here there is a 10 megawatt. So it is increasing to 25 megawatt, then 5, then 30, then 3. It is varying like this. So throughout the day it is varying. So while deciding the number of generator units, so it will be very easy. Instead of going for the load curve, go for the load duration curve. So load duration curve, how to do, we have already discussed in last lecture, that we have to arrange this load curve in the descending order. So 30 I have arranged, then 25, then 10, then 5 and then 3. So you can see here there is a 3 megawatt running for 24 hours, 5 megawatt is running for about 12 hours. So we have to select the units in such a way, units should not be very small, because if they are very small, the number of units required will increase drastically. And we know that the generator can be designed to operate at maximum efficiency between 75% to 100%. So like one such option I am selecting, you can select the multiple ways. So I am selecting the option like this. So I can select from between, for the entire 24 hours, one 5 megawatt unit will run, and for getting the 10 megawatt, what I can add? I can add one more 5 megawatt. That means two 5 megawatt units can run up to 10 megawatt. So from 10 to 25 there is a difference of 15, and 25 to 30 there is a difference of 5. So 15 plus 5, total 20 more required. For getting the 20 more, what I am doing, I am taking 2 units of 10 megawatt. That means I am taking 2 units of 5 megawatt and 2 units of 10 megawatt. Let us see by using these how we can get the ideal curve, or how we can fit them in a proper way so that the efficiency will improve, on the plant capacity and the plant use factor will improve. So what I am doing, from 6 to 8 am, as my load is equal to 10 megawatt, so as my total load is equal to 10 megawatt, so 1 unit of 10 megawatt is sufficient to run, because only 10 megawatt is sufficient. So now from 8 am to 1 pm, so total how much is there? 25 megawatt is there. So 2 units of 10 megawatt and 1 unit of 5 megawatt will be required. So now coming from 1 pm to 2 pm, only 5 megawatt is there. So 1 unit of 5 megawatt will run. So now coming from 2 pm to 6 pm, that means 2 pm to 6 pm, how much is the load? Total 30 megawatt is there. That means all the units will run. That means 2 units of 10 megawatt and 2 units of 5 megawatt will run for this duration. So now from 6 pm up to 6 am, so for this 12 hours, only 1 unit of 5 megawatt will run. Only 1 unit of 5 megawatt will run. So remaining all places we have fitted it with 100%. But here little bit difference will come because we cannot fit the curve 100% accurately. If you want to fit 100% accurately, then number of units will increase drastically. I told you because of that the cost increases drastically. So that's why I have selected this unit as 5 megawatt even though the load is 3 megawatt. So in this way the scheduling will be done. So here the total number of units required will be equal to 2 units of 10 megawatts and 2 units of 5 megawatt. So now what will be the spare unit that is required? The spare unit will be required will be equal to 10 megawatt. Spare unit required will be equal to only 10 megawatt. Whereas if you are going for the single generator, the spare unit will be equal to 30 megawatt. So in that form, the cost is increasing drastically. Even the running cost is increasing or the cost per unit increases because it doesn't run at maximum efficiency. Let us take one more example to understand this concept completely clearly. So it is given that a power plant has to supply the load as follows. It is given 12 pm to 6 am, it is operating at 500 kilowatt or supplying. 6 am to 9 am 1000 kilowatt, 9 am to 12 noon 2000 kilowatt, 12 noon to 3 pm 800 kilowatt, 3 pm to 6 pm 2000 kilowatt, 6 pm to 9 pm 2500 kilowatt, 9 pm to 12 pm 1500 kilowatt. So it is asked, determine the load factor and select a suitable number and size of units to supply the load. We have to select the suitable number and size of the units and also determine the reserve capacity, plant capacity factor and plant use factor to meet the load demand. So the same table I have represented here. So calculating anything from the table will be very difficult. So first thing what we have to do is represent them in the graphically. So I am representing this one in the form of load curve. So I have started from 12 pm. 12 pm to 6 am, how much is there? 500 kilowatt. Then 6 am to 9 am is 1000. Then 9 to 12. So 9 to 12 it is 2000. Then 12 to 3 is 800. 3 to 6 is 2000. Then 6 to 9 is 2500. And 9 to 12 is 1500. So from this I am plotting the load duration curve. So load duration curve I have kept in the descending order. So this is 2500, then 2000, 1500, 1000, 800 and 500 and the duration is mentioned here. You can see 2500 is running from 6 to 9 pm, that means 3 hours, and 2000 kilowatt is running from 3 to 6 and 9 to 12. So total duration of 6 hours. Similarly 1500 3 hours, 1000 for 3 hours, 800 for 3 hours and 500 for 6 hours. So this is what we got the load duration curve. So in order to get this, you can see that how to fit this one. So how we can fit by taking two 500 units. That means one 500. So we can take one 500 and 2000. One 500 and 2000 we can take because you can see here 500. So 500 can fit here. So if you are taking 1000 can fit at this case also. This case also, and for 1500 we can run 1000 1500. For running 20,000 we can run 2000 and 1500. For 2500 we will run all the units. That means 1500 and 2000 kilowatt ratings are sufficient and one spare unit of 1000 kilowatt will be required because spare unit capacity will be equal to 1000 kilowatt. So we can tell the reserve capacity will be equal to 1000 kilowatt. So from this we can tell that reserve capacity is equal to 1000 kilowatt. This much is required. So now coming to the total installed capacity of the plant, total installed capacity will be out of this 2000 kilowatt and 1500 is running and 1000 kilowatt is in reserve. So total only we have to count. That means total 3000 kilowatt generators are there, one 500 kilowatt generator is there. So total will be equal to 3500 kilowatt. I hope this is clear to you. So now going for the operating schedule. So how to go for the operating schedule? Again I have gone to the load curve. So from the load curve we can decide the operation schedule. So 12 pm to 6 am, you can see it is load is 500. So 1 unit of 500 is sufficient. From 6 am to 9 am, 1 unit of 1000 kilowatt can supply. From 9 am to 12 pm, so 2 unit of 1000 kilowatt because it will be equal to 2000. From 12 to 3, 1 unit of 1000 is sufficient. 3 to 6, 2 units of 1000 required. 6 to 9, 2 units of 1000 plus 1 unit of 500 is required, and from 9 to 12, so 1 unit of 500 and 1 unit of 1000 you can operate. So in this way the operating schedule is there. So let us now calculate the energy generated in 24 hours. So for calculating the energy generated in 24 hours, this will be easy from the load duration curve. So you can see here 2500 is there for 3 hours. That means it will be 2500 multiplied by 3 plus 2000 multiplied by 6 plus 1500 multiplied by 3 plus 1000 multiplied by 3 plus 800 multiplied by 3 plus 500 multiplied by 6. So this will be equal to the entire thing that will come. So this much time it is running. So that will be, when you are multiplying, you will get it as a 32,400 kilowatt hour, because that gives the area. So now the average load will be equal to total units generated divided by time. So time is 24 hours. So it will give 1350 kilowatt. So from this I can calculate my load factor is equal to average load divided by maximum demand. That means it is equal to 1350 divided by 2500. That means it will be equal to 0.54, or we can tell load factor is coming as 54%. So now coming to plant capacity factor. So plant capacity factor is number of units generated divided by plant capacity multiplied by the total duration. Total duration is 24. That will be equal to 32,400 divided by 3500 into 24. So if you calculate, you will get it as a 38.57%. So plant capacity factor is 38.57%. You can see very less. So now coming to the plant use factor. So plant use factor will increase drastically by dividing this into small units. You can observe here. So again, that load entire scheduling I have kept here. So total units generated as 32,400 divided by each unit capacity multiplied by the time for which it is running, because we have only two type of unit. One is 500, another one is 1000. So you can see here the 500 kilowatt is running here. Here it is running for 12 to 6. That means 6 hours. So I have mentioned here 6. Again it is running 500 is running here. So it is running from 6 to 9. That means 3 hours. Again 9 to 12 it is for 3 hours. So 6 plus 3 plus 3. So now coming to the 1000 kilowatt. 1000 kilowatt is running here. One unit is running from 6 to 9. That means 3 hours. And from 9 to 12 for 3 hours, 2 units are running. So 2 into 3, that means 6. And then 1 unit of 1000 is running from 12 to 3. That means 3. Again from 3 to 6. That means for 3 hours, 2 units are running. So 3 into 2 is 6. Plus again 6 to 9, 2 units are running. So again it is 6. Again 9 to 12, only 1 unit is running. So it is 3. So when you calculate this one, you will get it as 98.18%. You are getting it as 98.18%. Whereas if you are going for the normal case, that means if single generator is used, if single generator of, so what is the peak load that is there in your system? The peak load is equal to 2500. So let us take the same thing. If single generator of 2500 kilowatt is used, then the reserve capacity is equal to 2500 kilowatt. So therefore plant capacity is equal to 2500 multiplied by 2. That means equal to 5000 kilowatt. Agree with me? So from this I can calculate the plant capacity factor. So plant capacity factor will be equal to number of units generated are 32,400 divided by the plant capacity. Plant capacity is now increased to 5000 multiplied by 24. 5000 multiplied by 24. So let us try to calculate the same thing. So I am calculating it, 32,500 divided by 5000 multiplied by 24. So this will come as 27.08%. You can see that it is drastically decreased from 38.57. It is decreased to 27.08. So similar way we can tell that the plant use factor. So plant use factor will be equal to 32,400 divided by only one unit is running. That means 2500 kilowatt unit is running for complete duration. So 2500 unit is running for complete duration. So this will be equal to 54 0.17 percentage. So you can see that from 54.17 percentage, it is increased to 98.18 percentage, because this plant use factor or plant capacity factor indicates for a given investment or for the investment you have made, how much is the utilization of that one, because accordingly the unit cost will be decided. You can see that it is drastically improved by going for a smaller units. I hope that how to select the number of units and how to do the scheduling is completely clear to you. If you still have any queries, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. I will answer to your queries from there. Thank you very much.